Welcome to a preview of England versus Denmark in the Euro 2020 semi-finals. This is a massive opportunity for one of these countries to make it to a final in a major tournament. We're going to be discussing how Denmark have adapted in this tournament, the impact of their performances, why that may have happened, key players in the Denmark team and the England team, how this match can be won by either team, and of course I will give my starting 11 as to what I think is best for England in this match. Before we get into it though, if you could please click the like button on the video, it's massively appreciated as it helps the videos getting found, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you do enjoy this video. And with the Premier League season just around the corner after the Euros has ended, we've got loads of Premier League content coming your way. I think it's a great reason to subscribe to the channel, and once again that would be very much appreciated. So let's begin by looking into Denmark at the Euros, and to do that we can use OneFootball, the sponsor for this video, a really good app to download on your phone to look at stats from every team in the Euros. But looking at these top stats here, which are the average per match, they have scored 2.2 goals per match. That is a superb record. And what has really helped to get the number as high as that is the two matches where they scored 4 goals against Russia and Wales, and that was in back-to-back matches. Of course, we're going to be looking at the Denmark squad a bit more in depth, but just scrolling through the players here on OneFootball, we can see that they really do have a good squad of players, and it's the reason as to why I predicted them to make the semi-final. With many of these players playing for clubs in Europe's best leagues, and quite a few of them in the Premier League too. One of them is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. We'll be looking as to why he is so important to Denmark, and here's a little insider. 3 assists so far for Denmark. And there is so much more to view on OneFootball, so many in-depth stats for each player at Euro 2020. So to access that on your phone, all you need to do is simply click the link in the description to download it now. So let's talk more about Denmark, and first of all I want to go through the mentality side of things, which a lot of people have been talking about, saying how Denmark's performances have really been off the back of the Christian Eriksen situation. And yes, that has played a part. There has definitely been a mentality switch in the players. But this isn't just a Denmark team that are playing well due to that situation. I think people need to give credit to how they've actually played. Alongside a big mentality shift where that has really motivated them to do well, there has really been great footballing ability shown on the pitch. So this is a Denmark team with great mentality, chemistry and reason to win, but also great quality on the pitch and a manager who has adapted. So let's get into their performances so far and where they will look to threat England in this match. In this tournament, Denmark have really found success when using a 3-4-2-1, but it's not always been like that, and that's something we're going to get to later in the video. When using this formation though, it's seen them be a really attacking team, and we can see by the stats how evident that is. Denmark have had the 3rd most shot creating actions per 90 in the tournament with 25, the joint 2nd most passes into the penalty area with 56, and that's the same as Italy, as well as the 3rd most key passes with 65. So this creativity has then resulted in a lot of shots, 85 in fact, which is the 3rd most, and 34 on target is the 2nd most. And this is a total contrast to England, and why this game will be interesting. England have had 38 shots, and that's 51 less than what Denmark have had. What is similar though is the shot on target percentage, 42% for England and then 40% for Denmark. This is an attacking team that will test England's defence and their defensive record so far in this tournament, with no goals conceded so far in the tournament. And if they are to concede, then Denmark statistically will have the best chance in doing so. With that being said, a view to the very positive side of Denmark's team, there has been a consistency in their poor results from the back end of last year. So we'll go through some of the results here. September 2020 in the Nations League, Denmark played Belgium and lost 2-0. Then it was Denmark against England. That match finished 0-0, and then another match against England where Denmark were actually able to win, a 1-0 win, but the goal was only through a penalty. Another match against Belgium where they lost 4-2, a match against Germany was 1-1, and then the Finland match was the opening match for Euro 2020, and it was a 1-0 loss. However, it was under unfortunate circumstances. Now that is 6 matches where Denmark weren't as good, apart from the 1-0 win against England, and they did keep clean sheets in both of those England matches. But the consistency here is the opposition that they were playing against were playing in a back 5 system. There hasn't been too many scored, and there has been quite a few conceded when they've come up against this formation. So what Denmark have done, well, they've actually gone, if we can't beat it, then we may as well use it as self, and that's what they've done. They've switched to a 3-4-2-1, which is what we said they were playing earlier. However, the Finland match didn't see them start in this formation. They came up against a back 5 in that match, but used a back 4 themselves, and that is where the switch came in the next match against Belgium. Now the Belgium match was a 2 3-4-2-1 with Kevin De Bruyne coming on at halftime and making a big difference. However, the change in formation saw them play a lot better. Against Belgium, they were able to have 21 shots, which just shows how attacking they were. Also, as said at the start, the manager has shown he's very adaptable and recognising where Denmark can be better mid-game. It was the match against Wales in the last 16 which really showed this. Wales were having a lot of shots early in the match where Denmark were using the 3-4-2-1. And in this match, Denmark just didn't look at it. Wales had 7 shots in the first 18 minutes, with Denmark just having 1. However, from the 20th minute onwards, Denmark switched to a back 4 in a 4-2-3-1 with Christensen moving from centre-back into the midfield. And this worked brilliantly for Denmark as they scored in the 27th minute, so not long after the change, proving that the manager Kasper Hjulmand was clever in his mid-game management. A switch in formation mid-game by Denmark will have to be closely monitored by England. Ukraine did this against England too, so it's not anything that England aren't used to already. So Denmark in the last 3 matches have won all of them with a combined score of 10 goals scored and 2 conceded. So let's delve into Denmark's key players and the ones that are really making a difference, the ones that are influential in the team. A standout player who's been really enjoyable to watch for me has been Joachim Mæhle, one of their best players in the tournament. He's so energetic down the left flank and creative, also chipping in with a couple goals. He's been able to score 2 goals from 10 shots, and 10 shots is the second most in the team. 7 on target is the most for Denmark. In the 3-4-2-1 system is what really makes him effective, pushing high to be creative, but also drifting into positions in the box where he's able to shoot on his favoured right foot. And that's the thing really with him, as he's favoured on his right foot, he's not always going to be playing on the left, and maybe sometimes he'll be on the right hand side, and that's where he scored his goal against Wales. He is definitely going to be a difficult player for England to keep quiet throughout the match as he tries to be the creative player in the side and progressing the ball down the left flank. That's a player to look out for out wide. However, in the centre of the pitch, you probably get Denmark's most important player, and that is Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. Now, if you haven't seen him in this tournament or playing for Denmark, you'd probably be thinking, why is he a player to worry about? At Tottenham, he's just a very defensive player, a good one, but defensive. There's not really any attacking output from him at Tottenham, but that is a completely different story when it comes to the Danish national team. Højbjerg is more attacking, free to move into the final third, but also the player to get the ball into those positions in the first place, so a very influential player for Denmark. He's got the most shot-creating actions for Denmark and the most assists with 3, so this really shows how he's a different player from the defensive one we see at Tottenham. Højbjerg had the most touches against Czech Republic, and I really think he's the player to handle in this match. He's at the centre of attention for Denmark, where a lot of the play goes through him. Either being involved in the build-up to chances created or creating them himself, he is the man to stop. Around him, you have technical players to handle in the fullbacks, Mæhle and Larsson, but Højbjerg is at the heart of all of that. What he's coming up against now, though, is a tough midfield, likely to be Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, who have been integral to England's performances. They'll be pressuring him in the midfield, or at least need to be, to make sure that dangerous passes aren't coming from Højbjerg. So the midfield battle here is an important part of the match, massively important. As well as that, Damsgaard is a great young player who's come into the team and is someone I really like the look of. He's capable of that spectacular goal outside the box which we've seen from him in this tournament. He roams the pitch and is able to play across the front line, so it's unpredictable to know really where he will play against England for Denmark. What you can expect to see from Damsgaard though is a player trying to find spaces on the pitch, and then when receiving the ball will attempt one-on-ones when the opportunity arrives, so he will be a handful for England. You've got Kasper Dolberg as the striker, who I'd say has been surprising people. With only 159 minutes played, he scored 3 goals from 6 shots this tournament. His goal against the Czech Republic was on a plate, but from a ridiculous pass from Mæhle on the left. The combination and link up of these two looks to be a threat, and something England will need to minimalise as much as possible. With that being said about Denmark, England can be confident going into this match. Off the back of a 4-0 win against Ukraine, there's no reason not to be. If you can beat Germany, not concede all tournament, there is a great reason to be confident, and the Germany match is an important one to remember. Getting straight into the formation, I think England go for the 3 at the back, the same as the Germany game. Match them up to stop their wing-backs getting space, push them higher, make it compact in the middle with Rice and Phillips, and then the centre-backs behind them. And this formation allowed England to control the match against Germany too. Keep composed to make sure no goals are conceded, be comfortable, and then wait for the right attacking moments to create and finish. It sounds too straightforward, but that is exactly what happened in the Germany match. One key aspect though was subbing on Jack Grealish in that match, and that saw England score the 2 goals. So going into this this match, I think there is great reason to start him. Raheem Sterling goes to the right, and that can still work. It's how Sterling got his goal when Grealish came on with his run into the box from the right hand side. This combination can be really effective for England, and in those moments where you gain possession and want to take advantage of that possession, Jack Grealish is the perfect player to have on the pitch. It's just whether Jack Grealish will start. In my team, I think he does, but I'm not against Sterling and Saka if he's fit. And then you would repeat the same process of Jack Grealish coming off the bench if you're still looking for a goal later in the match. Elsewhere in the team, well, the midfield and the back five worked against Germany, so I'd have the same, and this is really what can hurt Denmark. On the right, I think you deal with Mæhle better by having Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker and Phillips on the right to close the space. Walker made the most ball recoveries against Germany, and I think he can play a similar part here. The German fullbacks, and especially Gosens, didn't get involved at all, and that was really down to how the right side of England's team dealt with that really well. Where I think this match is a little bit different to the Germany match is the German fullbacks were the main creative part of their team. However, in this Denmark team, you've also got Højbjerg to worry about in the midfield. I also think other players like Damsgaard and Braithwaite come deeper and get on the ball more than the German forwards did. But of course, on the England side of things, this is where you're matching them up with the three centre-backs. Rice and Phillips in front of them in the spaces where Damsgaard and Braithwaite will want to be getting onto the ball. Raheem Sterling has continued his good performances in the tournament. Harry Kane is now in goal-scoring form. And then on the left-hand side, you've got a really dangerous partnership of Luke Shaw and Jack Grealish, which we saw in the Germany match linking up. And for England, this is really where the action's going to happen. If a chance is going to be created, it's going to be on the left-hand side, either by Grealish or by Shaw on the overlap, receiving the ball from Jack Grealish. And the goal is probably going to be very similar to how we scored against Germany, a cross on that left-hand side and Raheem Sterling maybe coming in at the back post or another header from Harry Kane. I'm sure Denmark will be expecting this though. If they see Jack Grealish and Luke Shaw on the starting lineup, they will know that is where a lot of the creative action will be happening. However, throughout a match, I do expect moments for England where Grealish and Shaw can get on the ball. No matter what Denmark are doing, they will be able to get the ball into the box. It's all about controlling the match for England, which they've done really well in all of their matches so far, and taking your chances when they come, which Harry Kane has been doing a lot better recently. Comment below your starting 11 for this match and your score prediction. I'm going to go 2-1 England. And please, if you did enjoy this analysis and preview, then please click the like button down below. And for more of the same insight and analysis, subscribe to Route 1.